Hello, welcome back to my channel, Hasty Books. Today I am looking forward to 2023 and discussing 10 novels that are highly anticipated for me. So these novels are either by an author I really enjoy and I'm kind of looking forward to their next work, or they're just titles that I've, been intrigued by the blurb or the cover. I've not done extensive research, but I have 10 anticipated reads. They're all novels. I've tried to keep the nonfiction separate. I'll see if I make a list. I don't know if I'll have 10, so we'll get back on that. The first two books that I wanted to mention are contemporary romance books by two authors that I really enjoyed previous work, so I'm kind of looking forward to see what's next. I don't know if I'll enjoy it. I don't know if I'm going to enjoy, what they're really about, but I'm keeping an eye out for them. The first is The Wake Up Call by Beth O'Leary. I've actually enjoyed, I think I've read all 4 of her books and I've enjoyed most of them, and if I haven't totally loved it, I still enjoy kind of her writing style and what she tries to achieve. I think she tries to tackle some kind of heavier subject within a kind of lighter contemporary romance setting, so it's really nice. The Wake Up Call, I think, is going to be an enemies to lovers story, and it's about basically 2 enemies who end up working in the same hotel, which is, I think, threatened with closure, and they're working like one last season to try to see if they can bring it back to life, and make it successful. So I look forward to that, actually. I think I'm going to like that concept. The second book I wanted to mention is Happy Place by Emily Henry, and this is the one I'm not too sure if I'm going to like the concept. So this novel is about a couple who breaks up, but a tradition of theirs with friends was to go to this cottage, and they decide to go one last time even though they've broken up, and they decide to pretend like they're a couple, so it seems gonna be like a fake dating. But I don't know if I'm gonna enjoy that when it's already a couple. I don't know if it's gonna be a fake couple who pretends, a couple that broke up, that fakes date, that pretends to be together, and then maybe they fall in love again or something. I don't know if I'm going to enjoy that concept, but I will, keep an eye out for the title and for some reviews. Next is Weyward by Emilia Hart. This seems to be kind of partly historical fiction. It's mostly about a woman in contemporary England who goes, I think something bad happens to her, and she goes to like a family cottage, and then there she uncovers like some family secrets, about some of the previous women in her family, including one in the 1600s who was put on trial for witchcraft. I think it's trying to interwove the history of 3 different women in that family. The one in the 1600s, I think one in the 1900s, and then the one in the 21st century. So I think it's going to be really interesting. I really love all that kind of interwoven multi-generational heritage, history, women. I think it's going to be kind of hitting all of the check marks for me. So I look forward to it. Then there's Small World by Caleb Azumah Nelson. I put this one on my list before even looking up what this book was about because I adored his debut, Open Water, earlier this year, and it was just incredible, and I just love the themes, and I love the way he wrote. I know the narration wasn't for everyone, but I really enjoyed it, so I put this one on my list, and then I looked up what it was. I think it seems to be, again, about dancing, about music, about identity, but it's also about a father-son relationship. I'm in. I cannot wait to read it, and yeah, I think it's going to be a highlight next year, so we'll see. Next, we have Greek Lessons by Kang. I've never read anything by this author, but I've heard great things, and this book particularly kind of attracted me because of the themes that it explores. It seems to be based in a Greek language class in Seoul in Korea, and it's basically, I think, a teacher who's losing his sight has kind of develops a bond with one of his students, I guess, who, adults, let's not make it weird, adult female students who, I don't know if she's mute or if she just has lost the ability to speak because of, trauma. But yeah, it seems to be about 2 people who bond in kind of particularly difficult times in both their lives. So I think it's going to be really touching, really moving, and I look forward to reading it. Next, we're going in a very different genre and direction with The Mystery of Dunvegan Castle by T.L. Huchu. This is the 3rd book in the Edinburgh Nights series. So this followed the Library of the Dead and Our Lady of Mysterious Ailments. I've really enjoyed this kind of mystical fantasy YA series. We follow a young ghost stalker named Ropa, and it's mostly based in Edinburgh, up to now anyway. And in this book, apparently she goes to some sort of, sorcery convention conference. I'm guessing at Dunvegan Castle, and there's some mystery around that. I look forward to seeing where the character develops and just where the series takes us. Like, I've really enjoyed the world building that Huchu is doing, and just the juxtaposition of like real world Edinburgh of Scotland with the sorcery and fantasy aspects. So I think, yeah, it's been really, really good. I look forward to seeing what the third one is. I don't know how long the series is meant to be, but I'm in for the ride, and I will report back when I've read it. Next we have Pineapple Street by Jenny Jackson. This one intrigued me first because of the cover, just thought it was interesting. And then I read the blurb and I just wanted to know more about these women. It focuses on 3 women who are kind of part of the same family. I think there's the eldest daughter, the youngest daughter, and then a woman who marries into the family as well. So I think it talks a lot about money, either giving away money, not wanting to be attached to, the money of the family, marrying into money, into a family with money. So I think it's going to be really interesting. I don't know if it's going to be fluffy, but apparently it's a debut and it's quite witty. Well, that's what it says in the blurb. So I look forward to kind of just maybe seeing some reviews first, but seeing where this book hopefully takes us. Then we have The Apartment by Ana Menèndez. This was also really intriguing because, again, I think there's been a bit of a theme here. It's interweaving a lot of different storylines into one. So the apartment is basically, I think it's an apartment building, but in one of the apartments there's a woman who lives there, and she becomes kind of linked, or we hear the stories of previous tenants of this apartment, and they arrange in all kinds of, I think there's a divorcee, an immigrant, refugees, there's young people, older people. So I think it's going to be interesting in that way, and I always look forward to these multiple storyline converging, and it's the beauty of seeing like these small moments in people's lives and how they connect. So I look forward to seeing what it is. I don't know much more about it yet, but I was quite intrigued. Then we have The Whispering Muse by Laura Purcell. She's an author, again, that I've not read anything by before, but I'm quite intrigued. I think she writes some good historical fiction from what I've heard. This one is based in a theatre, and I always love to read that kind of atmospheric, superstitious, and it usually has a bit about curses and about, people living other characters' lives. So yeah, I really enjoyed that. So I was quite intrigued by this storyline. And it seems to be about an actor who apparently there's rumors that she's made a pact with a goddess to become the greatest, actress ever. And she becomes really inhabiting her characters to like an extreme degree. So I don't know much more about it, but I immediately knew that I had to add it to my TBR. And last but not least is a novel by a booktuber that we all love, Katie from Books and Things. So her debut novel, The Secrets of Hartwood Hall, is coming out in 2023, and I had to add it to my TBR. It sounds really, really good, and it looks really reminiscent of so many amazing Victorian novels. It's historical fiction, so it's about a young I think she's a young governess. She heads off to Hartwood Hall, and there are some weird mysteries and some things, that are happening that are really odd. And yeah, so I had to add it. I cannot wait to read it. I think it's going to be great, and I'm sure lots of people who liked historical fiction will probably read it in the new year. And that was it. Those were the 10 books that I'm kind of looking forward to reading in 2023. I haven't done extensive research, so let me know if there's a book that you're anticipating for 2023 that you think I might love. Give me a good suggestion. I would love that. And what else are you looking forward to in 2023? Reading classics, or are you looking for new contemporary novels or historical novels or fantasy? Let me know what you think. And as always, thank you so much for watching, and hey, see you back. Bye.